For those of you who might not know me, I introduced myself down there, but my name is Sarah Prestwich. I'm very happy to be here at First Metropolitan United. I must admit that it's been a couple years since I've been here, and the sanctuary looks a wee bit different, but beautiful all the same, and seeing everybody through the technology is wonderful. So I actually did a good portion of my growing up within these walls. After moving from Ontario in 1995, after my father retired from the Canadian military, my family settled here on the island, and we made First United our home congregation. Then later First Met after the amalgamation in 1997. I must admit that I do not get to preach very often. I'm usually the one running around making sure that everything is running smoothly, or teaching a Sunday school lesson, or cleaning up anything and everything. That's usually what I'm doing. So it's a wonderful pleasure to be here and to preach to you all today. There are different streams of ministry in the United Church of Canada, and I belong to one called lay ministry. Though I might not hold a Master's of Divinity from a theological seminary, I hold a deep love and call to serve communities of faith in the context of children, youth, young adults, and families ministries. For quite a bit of my teenage years, I had no clue of what I wanted to do in my life or what my career as an adult might look like. In high school, we were strongly encouraged to pick out a subject of study that we would like to focus on. I chose psychology, thinking that I might want to do clinical research or be a psychologist with children. Well, after one degree in psychology, I decided that that wasn't for me. Well, then I got another degree in British history and decided that wasn't for me either. But church has always been that constant force in my life. It has always been there throughout the ups and the downs, through the positives and the negatives. And never would I have thought that I would have a career in the church. I would think to myself, do people really get paid to create programs and opportunities for kids and teens? Well, the answer is apparently yes. The scripture I chose today came from Romans chapter 12, verses 6 to 13. We have gifts that differ according to the grace given to us. Prophecy in proportion to faith, ministry in ministering, the teacher in teaching, the exhorter in exhortation, the giver in generosity, the leader in diligence, the compassionate in cheerfulness. Let love be genuine, hate what is evil, hold fast to what is good, love one another with mutual affection, outdo one another in showing honor. Do not lag in zeal, be ardent in spirit. Serve the Lord. Rejoice in hope, be patient in suffering, persevere in prayer. Contribute to the needs of the saints and extend hospitality to strangers. Well, this is a passage that I try and live by every day. I actually have it written on a small piece of paper above my work desk in my home, and I look upon its wise words every day, thinking to myself, how can I apply them to my work this day and every day onwards? For me, this passage explains, to whatever you do with your life, be genuine in your work and lead with love, most of all. Love can be a bit of a fickle thing. We say that we love our pets, we love our siblings, we love our significant others, we love pumpkin spice lattes, and we also love having the freedom to say what we feel. Jesus tells us the most important lesson of all, to love your neighbor as you love yourself. In theory, this sounds to be quite an easy thing. Love my neighbor as I love myself. I can do that for sure. Though in reality, we're not always so good at doing this. We are living in a time where people are judged and questioned for their identity and told that who they love is a choice or a lifestyle, where the color of someone's skin is reflected in how cities are set up and what things people can and cannot have access to, where we question the legitimacy of people's experiences with residential schools, the ableism of those with different abilities, and questioning if they can live their lives independently, or even a woman's rights to her own body. Loving your neighbor as we love ourselves is something we do need to work on, and the time is now. The work I do with children, youth, young adults, and families is unique. Everyone's experiences with faith and spirituality is different from one another's. The way I view God and my relationship with Christ is not the same that you might view it. But the way that children view it is very special indeed. I like to say that children are the most spiritual of us all. They only see people for who they truly are. They're not laden down by outside opinions and views. They just love everyone. Unlike us as adults, we're sometimes filled with experiences and situations that make us have certain opinions about different things. And youth and young adults are still forming those opinions and those views and how they view the world. But they are also hyper-aware to the diversity of people that God has created and accepts that it is beautiful and right in God's eyes. I have been told that this congregation is actually starting the process of the affirming. I am very, very proud to hear that. To become an affirming ministry is not to say, hey, we can put up a pride flag officially now, but to be able to say to ourselves and the community that we are not just welcoming, that we accept and we embrace who everybody is, that you are loved here, no matter what. It's a process that actually can take a couple years. My congregation is still in that process, but it's one that is worth all the hard work and the deep conversations. So I decided to call this sermon, Love and Being Called. I think that both very much are entwined with one another. For someone to be called to something or to do something or somewhere, we must feel loved for who we truly are. I feel very much called to the ministry of children, youth, young adults, and families because it loves me and accepts me for who I am. No more, no less.